long time no book video. One thing that I've been doing this summer to sort of unwind from the usual college life is to go back to my old hobby of reading. This summer I've actually somehow accumulated quite a bit of books, which is a little bit unusual for me. I have literally not purchased a book in so long because I've just been focusing on reading the books that I have already owned, and I guess I've made really good progress because this summer I'm like, okay, I don't really have much to choose from anymore. So one little side note, all of these books that I'm going to show you are mostly secondhand because some of these were thrifted or purchased at cute little secondhand bookshops. So I did not pay full price for all of these books. That would be crazy. Also, this is kind of a cumulative haul, meaning that these are books that I've gotten throughout summer and not all at once. So anyways, let's get into it. I wanted to start off with the first book that I got this summer, and it was Emily Giffen's The Summer Pact. So this is a book that I actually did get brand new, and I went to the bookstore without not having any idea of what I was gonna buy. I just wanted to buy a book that seemed very lightweight and summery because usually the books that I kind of go for or am drawn to are books that, you know, require some kind of brain activity, books that kind of require deep thinking and, you know, something that I can actually take something away from. But from time to time, I like to read something a little bit lighter and summery, or even romancy maybe. Just sort of read it mindlessly and be able to enjoy it. Hopefully there's someone out there, a book reader somewhere out there that understands what I'm trying to say. But with that being said, I got this book thinking it would be very light and summery, but I was so wrong. This book is so dark. Okay, it's not super dark, but it does have dark aspects to it. This is a book about, I believe it was 4 college students, essentially. We sort of meet them at their young stage and then they sort of grow up together. You just kind of follow their friendship throughout the years and the downsides to it and the highlights and whatnot, so read at your own risk. I think I gave this book about 4 stars. I'm not entirely sure. I have a Goodreads, so I'm gonna have to fact check that with my own self, but I think I gave this book about 3 or 4 stars. I'll put it on the screen. Okay, next up I'm going to show you books that I thrifted at a Goodwill. Okay, so first book that I bought is Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau, I think that's how you pronounce it. This is a book that I've been wanting to read for a really long time. I've actually yet to read it. I have not read it yet, but I'm excited to. I'm definitely going to bring this with me to college. But basically this is just a coming-of-age story of a girl named Mary Jane who essentially takes up a babysitting job, I believe, at this house in the 1970s, and she goes from being a girl growing up in a very conservative setting to essentially being exposed to this almost rock star lifestyle, babysitting for these 2 public figures, I think, something like that. It's not typically something that I would read, but it sounded interesting, and yeah, I also kind of like the cover. It's very summery and vintagey. And then the next book I got at the thrift store is this book that I've actually never heard of. It's called 3 Cups of Tea by Greg Mortensen and David Oliver Rellin. So this is a nonfiction book essentially about this man named Greg Mortensen, who, it says here, he drifted into an impoverished Pakistan village. So he basically gets derouted from his initial plan of trying to climb this mountain into this very impoverished town, and he realizes just how much, essentially realizes that, you know, this town needs help, and he decides to go ahead and go on this mission to help these people by building schools, and particularly schools for young girls. This is the type of stuff that's so inspiring to me and gives me hope for humanity. I don't really know, but I don't know, this sounded like a really wholesome, humbling story, and it also has little pictures in the middle of it, which I don't want to spoil it for myself. And anyways, this sounded really cool, and as someone who would love to climb mountains someday and help people in third world countries, this is definitely going to be a very inspiring read, so I cannot wait to read this. Next couple of books that I'm going to show you are books that I got on my South Carolina trip, which for those of you that watch my channel know that I went to South Carolina, which I actually filmed a little bit of a vlog, so if you want to go ahead and watch it, I can maybe link it in the description or put a card somewhere in this video. But first book I got is How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days by K.M. Jackson. This is the funniest title ever, and believe it or not, I've known about this book for quite a while, and it's been on my Goodreads want to read list for a really long time. So when I saw this, I kind of freaked because I'm oh my gosh, no way I'm seeing this in person. As you can see, I'm almost done with it. But honestly, not my favorite, okay? It's not what I thought it would be. I thought it would be like a very comedic rom-com story, but it's actually about like a 40-year-old woman who's like not married, obviously, no kids, and living in the city, still trying to like find herself, and tries to chase around Keanu Reeves, but essentially realizes that her guy best friend, who's also 40, is the one for her. I don't know, it's just very unrealistic that, you know, you're reading about this group of 40-year-olds who are all coincidentally single, living in the city, no kids, no nothing. It just feels like you're reading a book about teenagers, so it's like immature for that stage of life. Not to like be rude, but like it's just not my cup of tea. So it's been actually taking me quite a while to finish this book because it's just very off-putting to me personally. I'm still gonna finish it, and we shall see what my final rating of that will be. And then the second book that I got in South Carolina was this book called Welcome to a School by the Sea by Jenny Colgan. So this book, I've never actually heard of this book before, but I liked the cover, and because I was on the East Coast, this was definitely giving East Coast vibes. And so I was just inspired, and I'm like, you know what, I want to get this, and because I'm here and why not? But it sounded really interesting, so I'm gonna go ahead and read you the little description on the back.
It's gloriously sunny in Cornwall as the school year starts at the little boarding school by the sea. Maggie, the newest teacher at Downey House, is determined to make
Mark. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna read this. This is like making me bored. I think we're reading about 3 different characters, maybe who will become friends or something, and going to this boarding school. Sounded very interesting, and I was like, why not? So here we are. Okay, next book is actually kind of a funny story. When I came back from my South Carolina trip, I realized that I had a mail waiting for me, and one of the packages had a book for me from a publishing company called Harvest House, and it's called Faith Simplified by Erin Armstrong. And this book, basically, I won through a Goodreads giveaway. From time to time, I like to look through the books and enter a giveaway, not really thinking I'll get anything, but this time around I did win, and it's a Christian book, and the back just says, Faith Simplified unpacks the faith-defining truths of Christianity and their profound bearing on how you live each day. Addressing the curious, the questioning, and the committed alike, author Erin Armstrong draws on biblical knowledge and centuries of Christian theology to cast light on the faith's potential to powerfully affect your life. So that's just like a little part of this description on the back, but this is like right up my alley. I'm just excited to read it. So Faith Simplified. Okay, one stack done. Moving on to the next stack. So the next couple of books I'm going to show you are books that I got at a library book sale at my like local library. I got 3 books, which all 3 of these I've been wanting to read for a long time, like genuinely. So this is a really, really good little haul. So the first one is called 12 Angry Men by Reginald Rose, and it's a Penguin Classics edition. Super cool. It's a very, very short book because it is actually a play, and usually I do not read plays because it's just hard for me to like not understand, but maybe it's because I've only really ever tried reading Shakespeare plays. This is a book that I actually heard about from like a booktuber, and they completely sold me on it, and apparently it's funny. That's all I really know about it, and obviously that there's 12 angry men involved, but I'm excited to read this little book. Next book that I got is Candide. I'm super excited. This is a book that, again, I've learned from other fellow booktubers, because obviously I do try to dig into classics from time to time, and this is a book that has been on my list for a really long time, but if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't exactly know what this is about. All it says is that Candide was the most brilliant challenge to the idea endemic in Voltaire's day that all is for the best in the best of all possible worlds. So it gives a little description, and every person that has ever like raved about this never fully really talked about what it's about necessarily, but it is a really short book, so we shall see. So here we are. I also kind of like the cover of this. I like this little painting. Okay, the next book, or I guess the last book of that particular little haul from the library book sale, is John Green's Paper Towns. I have not read a John Green book in a really, really long time, and I'm so excited because usually I really, really love and appreciate his books. They are very lightweight and fun and sometimes deal with dark themes and topics, but I just love his writing. It's usually very brilliant and interesting and intriguing, so I'm very excited to read this. From what I remember, this book is about a boy and a girl, I believe both high school students. They essentially form a friendship, but then one day the girl disappears, but then leaves like little clues for the boy to find her. Let me read you the description. So it says, "Who is the real Margot? Quentin Jacobson has spent a lifetime loving the magnificently adventurous Margot Roth Spiegelman from afar. So when she cracks open a window and climbs into his life, dressed like a ninja and summoning him for an ingenious campaign of revenge, he follows. After their all-nighter ends and a new day breaks, Q arrives at school to discover that Margot, always an enigma, has now become a mystery. But Q soon learns that there are clues, and they're for him. Urged down a disconnected path, the closer he gets, the less Q sees the girl he thought he knew. Sounds interesting to me. I'm really hoping this does not let me down, but that's that book. Okay, I only have 3 more to go, so bear with me. This is going to be kind of a very random one, but I have The White Nile by Alan Moorhead. So for the longest time, I've been meaning to read this book that I thrifted called The Blue Nile, but then as I was going to go ahead and read it, I realized that it's actually the second book to a duology, and the first book is called The White Nile, and I obviously did not own it. So I ended up finding a really cheap little copy on eBay in like the particular edition that my other book is in, so that they both match. So it looks like this. It's kind of thick, very old. I'm nervous, but I'm really excited because the covers look like very Jumanji-esque, and I love the Jumanji movies and like adventurous Indiana Jones type tropes. I think they're really, really cool and so interesting to me. So I'm really hoping this is very action-filled and interesting, but that's The White Nile. Last 2 books of this haul are books that I purchased at this really cute little bookshop in a town called Baraboo, Wisconsin. Anyways, there was this really, really cute bookshop, and I ended up picking up 2 books, which both happen to be like poetry collections. First, we have Samson Agonistus and the Shorter Poems of Milton. I'm not entirely sure why I got this book. I thought the cover was really cool, but I don't do that anymore. I don't buy books for the covers anymore, so I don't know why I got this. I kind of regret my purchase, but I'm still gonna read it. It was only $3. We're fine. No idea what this is about. All I know is that it's just a collection of poems. And then the last book of this entire haul is Birdwings. Birdwings by Doris White. So this is like apparently unheard of. I tried to like Google it. There was nothing. It's not even on Goodreads, so I think this is probably like a local poet, but I really loved the cover and like the texture of the cover. And then on the inside, it also came with like a little bookmark, which I didn't know about. And it's also signed by the author. That's really cute. But anyways, it's just a poetry collection that I have not yet started to read, but I'm excited to read it. That's that. And that concludes my book haul, my end of summer book haul. This is my huge stack. This is actually crazy. I do not buy books like this ever. So this was a very book-filled summer for me. I've yet to read the majority of these, but I'm excited to crack them open during the school year if I find time, but I better, because lots of money went into this. Anyways, that concludes my book haul. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have not filmed book-related content in a really long time. I think it's been years. It's been a while, so I'm excited to get this going. Thank you for watching this video, and of course, if you have any book recommendations or favorite books that you read this summer, please leave it in the comments because I'm always in search of some good book recs.